Hey guys, welcome back to Self-Care Haven. I'm excited to be making another video after a short hiatus, and I wanted to make a video on something that I know that many of you survivors struggle with, whether it was emotional abuse and or physical abuse, and that is self-blame. So often victims of abuse struggle with this idea that the abuse was their fault, and of course the abuser usually convinced them that it was their fault by making them believe that whatever argument or whatever issue that they brought up was totally invalid, totally crazy, and that they were the abnormal ones for reacting to abusive behavior in the first place. Now, of course, we know that stonewalling and emotional invalidation and gaslighting all work together to really create kind of this smokes and mirrors effect where the abuser gets to create and recreate reality for you and sets up this alternate reality where their abusive behavior is totally normal and you're the crazy one for reacting to it. And that makes you feel very alienated and very isolated and alone, even though you, on some level, understand that that abusive behavior probably has to do more with the abuser than it does with you. But of course, subconsciously, because narcissistic abusers or abusers who are antisocial, they tend to be very talented at projecting their own insecurities, their flaws onto us. So if you happen to be, let's say, more attractive, more successful than your abuser, they might have put you on a pedestal for that at first in the beginning of the relationship to hook you. But their ultimate agenda was to break you down and make you feel less than, because they were ultimately just threatened by you. So remember that if you really were more appealing or more attractive than your abuser, or even if you were just equally attractive, they will usually strive to make you feel as unappealing as possible, so you don't feel as desirable to other people, and they can feel like other people are not a threat to your relationship because you feel so insecure because of their covert and overt comments over time that you start to doubt your own appeal and your own attractiveness. This goes for being successful as well. If your abusive partner was either more successful or less successful than you, either way, they will eventually start to be very condescending towards you, put you down, put your goals down, put what you've accomplished down. If you've ever talked about what you've accomplished in any way, they will make sure that you feel like you were acting full of yourself, even though they themselves are incredibly condescending and act very superior and entitled and arrogant about their own accomplishments. If they're emotionally stable and dependent on you and very clingy in the beginning of the relationship, they will suddenly turn on you and say that you are the clingy one, that you are the crazy one, and anything that you need or want in the relationship is obviously abnormal and insane. If they had issues with performance and infidelity, and by performance I mean in the bedroom, they will usually say that you're the cause of it. That they never had any other problems with anybody else. And of course, they will also apply that to their emotional behavior as well. You know, they never had any other problems in other relationships. There's only this one. And of course, that's a complete lie, because if you've ever met the ex-partners of your abusive partners, you will realize they have very similar tales to tell about their own ups and downs in a relationship, in the abusive relationship. So remember that the hardest part for victims to recognize is that abuse will never be their fault. And it's not their responsibility. It's not your responsibility to carry the burden of someone else's pathology. So when it comes to victim blaming, I know that we all do it. It's part of the process, honestly. Like, if you're healing from abuse, there's going to be points where you blame yourself for not leaving sooner, not recognizing the red flags sooner. You might even blame yourself for the abuse. You might think, oh, maybe I was being sensitive. But at the end, in the end of it, you'll realize that it's actually more liberating to realize that you are not the abnormal. You are not the crazy one in this relationship. You obviously can take accountability for staying longer than you should have, but at the same time, there's so many psychological factors that made it difficult to leave. There was so much cognitive dissonance, and there might have even been threats of violence or retaliation that you had to deal with. There was also the fact that you didn't really know who this person was. Was it the sweet, charming person that was once the person that you fell for, or was it the harsh, cruel, cold-hearted abuser? It flipped over so many times. You went through so much intermittent reinforcement and during the love cycle. You were idealized. You were thrust off the pedestal. You were re-idealized. You were hoovered back in. There were just so many mind games in that relationship. So the important thing, and one of the most important parts of healing and moving forward from that type of relationship, is really start to let go of the self-blame. Because it's all part of that negative, larger pattern of negative self-talk that says, I'm the one who did this, I'm the one who caused this abuse. But the truth of the matter is that you do deserve respect, and if you reacted to disrespect, that does not mean that a person gets to invalidate your emotions. Because if you feel like someone disrespected you, the truth of the matter is they probably did. And if they are constantly escaping accountability for their actions, then that is a sure red flag that they are not a healthy communicative partner. So that's a blessing, right? It's a blessing to find out sooner than later. And it's a blessing to be able to go through this journey and really start to release and let go of the blame, let go of this idea that you are responsible for someone else's pathology, because you are not. You're only responsible for your own issues. You're not responsible for somebody else's covert put downs or their need to feel superior to others. You're just not responsible for that. So I want you to start working on that self-blame. If you have that voice inside of your head that says, I shouldn't have done that, that was my fault, I should have been this, I should have been that, start letting go of those negative self-talk mantras and start replacing them with really positive affirmations like, you know what, I am lovable, even if I'm imperfect, and I am worthy of love, and I am worthy of respect, and I am deserving of respect, and I deserve to have a voice in any relationship that I enter. I deserve to have opinions, and I deserve to be respected for my emotions. I deserve to be able to express my emotions in a healthy, safe space. So I hope this video helped validate you. Hope you're working on your negative self-talk throughout this healing journey. It's a lifelong journey. It's never fully complete, I feel, and we always have something new to learn along the way. So hope you guys are doing well and working on healing those subconscious wounds that kept you in the relationship in the first place, or perhaps is still keeping you in the relationship or interaction with your previous partner. And I hope you're also striving to really take care of yourself and engaging in that self-care and self-love, because that's ultimately what's going to keep you detached from these types of toxic people and partners in the future. So hope to talk to you soon. Until then, take care.